What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Hogwarts Legacy Definitive Edition yet again and talk about what in God's name is holding this thing up. All joking aside, this is maybe one of the worst kept secrets in all of gaming, right? You have just people coming out weekly, monthly, just talking about this thing as if it's a full-blown fact. And I mean, look, at this point it is. I know you have to kind of wait, like to get from 99% to 100%, and of course, we're still kind of waiting on them. But at this point, when you have Schreier, Jason Schreier, of course, right? Every time he comes out to speak, if it's an article, if it's an interview, he's always mentioning the definitive edition. You had Tom Henderson, of course, that bombshell type report a little while back. I made a whole video kind of going over it. He really broke the thing down and just an open secret, right? There's this thing coming. It's adding new content. It's adding story. It's adding side stuff. It's adding mini games. All sorts of stuff is coming to Hogwarts Legacy. What are they waiting for? Now, the reason I say that, I've said it in passing here and there, but if you're wondering, right, okay, well, what's the big deal? Like, why is there any rush for it? To me, it just loses steam the further we go. And this is coming from somebody that was a massive supporter. Obviously, I want more. Obviously, I want to support, future things that this studio does with Hogwarts Legacy. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, we just celebrated the 2-year anniversary, right? And you look at definitive editions, game of the year edition, they've gone by different names, right, as the years have gone on. But you look at these things, and they don't normally come out 2.5, 3 years after the thing comes out. Now, we've kind of gone down the different roads that, like the possibilities of what could happen. And again, like the reason why I stress it is because, well, right now we're 2 years and half a month, right, past Hogwarts Legacy. But if you announce it, whenever you announce it, like, is it coming out that following month? Is it like a fall thing? Because, like, the longer this goes, again, you're pushing up against like 3 years, depending on how far. I don't really think that's going to happen. I feel like they're going to want it to probably happen by like the summer at the latest. But then, okay, well, now there's pressure back on it because, you look to the state of plays of the world and all this stuff. You can say, okay, would they, they made the deal with PlayStation back years ago. Would they do it again? One thing maybe to watch out for, I don't know this for sure, right? But like with the Switch 2 event coming up, right? I think the very beginning of April, so many third-party games I feel like are waiting on the Switch 2 because you're going to have day one releases and games that maybe in the summer or the fall, we know of them right now that they're coming out just on like PlayStation, Xbox, but they might also be coming out on Switch 2 day one. There's been reports that there's been games that exist, but they don't have like any info, they don't have any release dates. And they're waiting for the Switch 2 because maybe some sort of contract type thing with Nintendo that if you say your game exists, you have to say it's on the Switch 2. But because we haven't done the Switch 2 full-on announcement yet, you kind of go backwards, right? You can't announce your game. This is honestly just something that popped in my head just when I hit record. I never really thought about Hogwarts Legacy with the Switch 2. And again, it's probably because of that PlayStation leaning type thing that, was happening a couple of years ago. The times have changed. Companies, you look at the third party, first party kind of stuff that's going on. I mean, a lot of companies have kind of pulled out of doing that altogether. I guess you could say, okay, well, why would they align themselves, with Nintendo? And we talked about it. The Switch version of Hogwarts Legacy probably sold a couple million just like that, right? Very, very easily it did that. So maybe they're waiting for that because this definitive edition, if it comes out in the summer, comes out in the fall, it's probably a Switch 2 because don't forget it, it's out on Switch, right? So it might be coming to Switch 2. So that's just something that, because I'm kind of confused myself. We went past the state of play. Guess we haven't gotten like that huge Xbox thing yet, right? That's obviously in June. We did get that developer direct, which was really nice, but you're not going to go to Avalanche and talk to them for that. So it's a waiting game. It's it's all these different kinds of things, right? Because it's kind of me being impatient with the Hogwarts Legacy side. Then you have WB just in general falling apart, right? So it's like they're their only hope. They're their Obi-Wan Kenobi. So you're kind of looking to them because it's like the longer it goes, the less it doesn't make as much sense for me. That's just the best way I've kind of been putting it for like the last year that we've heard about it. It just makes less sense to do a definitive edition for a game that's 2.5, 3 years old. You're closer at some point. You will be closer to the sequel than you will to the original game. And so you're going to do a DLC to the original game, even though we're close. I mean, we're not. But as we keep going, we're going to get closer to the sequel. You know what I mean? So that's just why I just have never really understood why they're doing it. I do think why they're doing it is quite obvious, and it's simply the game sold bananas, and they want more money. It's not Avalanche. I'm not saying Avalanche, by the way. I think they were very much pushed a little bit by WB and said, oh my God, we have a situation. I don't know if you've seen our other studios. We have some problems. This game blew everything out of the water. We want you to make a sequel. You are making a sequel, but could you put together like a 10-hour DLC and we'll re-release this thing and we'll charge more money for it. And there's ways that this can go, by the way, that could be very upsetting. So it's something that we'll have to see as the months go of what they charge, what's the added value, is it actually worth that added value? I've been a huge supporter, but I've also called stuff out when it needed to be called out. So I'm not afraid to go there. We'll see if they push me, to go there. But I want it. I mean, I've always said, like, I will take more of this game. Whenever you give me more of this game, I will take more of this game. But it's just kind of nuts that it's we're 2+ years past it, and you're gonna still get it. As we keep saying, just everybody talks about, oh yeah, you got the Lego game coming out, Wonder Woman's gone, Rocksteady's doing this, WB Montreal's doing this. Oh yeah, and Avalanche, they're making that definitive edition, and it's just people are just saying it. It's not even something people care to like dance around. It's just a thing. So I wonder what they're waiting for. Like, truly, again, maybe the Xbox event in June. I mean, here's the options, right? Xbox event in June, PlayStation event, because we heard that maybe there's another State of Play showcase thing in the summer, so maybe that, the Switch 2 event, or Summer Game Fest. I mean, those are really within the next 4 months from now, let's say. By the end of the next 4 months, those 4 events probably will have happened. In fact, most of them are confirmed at this point. So that's what your options are. If it goes beyond that, you are now talking about the fall, and you're now 2.5 going into 3 years after and that really loses me at a certain point. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.